may have seen this meme where the meme is asking the question, if you were to get married where you met your spouse for the very first time, where would that wedding be? It's Rob and Liz, his morning crew on his radio.
Mine would be online because that's where Joey and I met quite a few years ago. It was kind of at the forefront of meeting people online, but it worked out well. We've been married. This year will be 22 years. I can't believe it. Mind blown.
So you swiped, Joey?
No, I didn't swipe right or left or anything like that. It was a website. I think it was like...
Oh, wait a minute. Okay, now I'm sorry, but there was no apps back then. You can only swipe on an app. 22 years ago, we didn't have apps on a phone. We didn't have phones that did that.
Right? We still had dial-up, I think, but we got it online, and that's where we met. There were two guys that were on this site, and I was like, you know what? His face is just really sweet. So we had lots of conversations on the phone. We finally met. You know, we were married less than 4 months later. Boom, there you go.
Wow. Well, where was the first date?
The first date was like a 14-hour date. We went to eat. We went to see a movie. We went to a batting cage. Then we went to dinner. I mean, it was just crazy. It just kept going. And it was like, I don't want this day to end. But yeah, we would get married online.
Yeah. Or if it was going to be the first date because you met online, it would be in the batting cage. Yeah. Or that would have been a cool wedding. A wedding in a batting cage.
And to know me, I would actually like that a lot. That would be really cool.
So how about you? Okay, if you met online, maybe it would be your first date. But where would you get married? Where you first met your spouse, where would that wedding be? 800-447-7234.
His morning crew.
If you got married where you met, where would that marriage be or the wedding be? 800-447-7234. It's Rob and Liz, his morning crew on his radio.
Tiffany said, I met my husband at my roommate's wedding. It was an outdoor wedding, Jackson Hole, Wyoming, where they lived overlooking the Grand Teton Mountains. They got married 9 months later. Now, they got married not too far away from that place, but yeah, if they had to get married where they met, it would be at her friend's wedding. So I don't know how that would work. Angel said, oh my goodness, I didn't know anybody else had a crazy love story like mine. My husband and I met on Yahoo Chat. So if they had to get married now, where they met, it would be in a chat room. And they got married 3 months later.
Kaylee's along with us at 800-447-7234. What was it for you, Kaylee?
We met at a gas station.
Kayla, was it like love at first sight over the Cheetos, or how did that happen?
I was outside pumping, and then he kind of like waved at me from afar, so it was kind of weird, but he just kind of went out of his way to figure out who I was, and he looked me up online, and he found me through the community.
A wedding at a gas station. Oh, that would be perfect.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
The conversation this morning is spurred off this one text you probably seen.
Yeah, I saw this meme on social media, and it says, if you had to marry your partner where you first met, where would the wedding be?
Where would it be? We get tons of answers this morning. You should see them. 800-447-7234.
So Melinda said, I met my husband at the International Terminal at O'Hare Airport. Make for a very interesting wedding, but how super cool if you're trying to catch a flight and you see a wedding going down. I think that'd be awesome.
I almost thought you were going to go International House of Pancakes.
Oh, no. That would be cool, too. No,
yeah, right?
Glenda and Kenneth said they met at the funeral home in Cary, North Carolina.
Yeah.
It took him 8 months to ask her out.
Yeah. No wedding at a funeral home. Please. Not at all. Marty's here. So, Marty, where did you meet? And if you met there, I guess, where would the wedding be?
My husband and I met in the dentist office waiting room.
Okay. How'd you guys hook up there?
Well, we were the only two in the waiting room, and we started chatting and realized we both lost our previous spouses after being married a long time, and we talked about our faith and where we went to church, and turned out we knew some people in common, but we'd never met. We just hit it off and started talking, and dating, and we got married in July. And we actually stopped by the dentist office on our way from getting married at our church to the reception, and shared a photo on Facebook with the dentist office that we had gotten married.
How long was that wait to get into the dentist office? If you could talk about like your entire life story.
It was about 15 minutes, and it just felt like it was just a minute because we just hit it off, and we both went back to see two different dentists, and they said, well, I think we have a little romance going on in the waiting room. And I said, well, I don't know. I just met the most awesome man in your waiting room today.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
There's a lot of stuff that you can find when you drive by somebody's house and there's a garbage can. I know you probably don't dig through the garbage, but here's Aaron. And Aaron, he's a very observant man. He actually is a sanitation worker, and he goes and he makes sure that all the garbage picked up from the houses and put right into the truck. But he observed one day that there was a backpack, and for some reason, this backpack looked a little suspicious to him. So he investigated. He looked in the backpack. There was a puppy inside the backpack. A puppy inside the backpack.
Who would have done something like that? That makes my blood boil.
So the puppy was hurt. He brought the puppy to the veterinarian. There was a possibility that the puppy would lose a leg or two unless there was a very expensive surgery. Aaron is a sanitation worker, so he's not bringing home, big dough here. But he decided no matter what, he was going to invest in this puppy. The puppy has kept all his legs and is now home with Aaron, in a forever home.
Oh my goodness. You know what? If you don't want your puppy, take him somewhere like the animal shelter and let somebody else have that baby and give him a forever home.
Mornings with Rob and Liz.
I love when I see people that see a need and they jump right in. They don't even think, should I do this? They just do it. And when it's a kid, it's even better. So there is this 10-year-old. He's from Rhode Island. They've had a lot of snow in that part of the country lately. He was out with a friend of the family. And I guess they were near a hospital during all of this snow that was coming down. And he started thinking about the healthcare workers and how they were going to come, after a 12-hour shift to their cars and then have to scrape all the snow off and, all that good stuff. He jumped right in. He's like, can we just stop over there and clean those cars off? He and his family friend did maybe 20 or 30 cars, and they cleared all the snow. Thankfully, it was that real powdery snow. It's not like they had to really dig in with shovels.
There was not ice all over the windshield.
No, it was that real powdery stuff. But they just dug right in. They cleared about 20 or 30 cars, and then they thought, okay, we need a break. But think about the 30 people plus that they helped who walked out after that long day taking care of patients and said, wow, somebody did something really cool for me.
Well, it's such a simple thing, too. Just to go and brush off snow from cars. Didn't take him really that long to do 20 cars if it wasn't like caked on ice. It was just the powdery snow. I mean, that's just like, and what a load off of somebody's back, thinking that they had to walk out after a long day of working in that hospital, and then somebody already did
Rob
it for
and
them.
Liz.
His morning crew.
They're in Milwaukee are two meteorologists. One works for CBS, one works for the Fox affiliate. And, if you're watching those local TV stations for the news or whatever, for the weather, you would never think those two are together. They're actually married. I don't know how they make that work because, they're competitors. Well, during the pandemic, they've had to work from home. They've had to work virtually like a lot of people have had to do, but they're competing. But they both have the same setup in their home that they switch off and they use. How crazy is that?
How do they do that? Because usually, now for instance, if you watch the local news around here and the weather is on, you can go from station to station. The weather's on at the same time. So how in the world do they work that out in their home? And where'd you say, Minneapolis?
Yeah, well, it's in Milwaukee, and what happens is they both have different time slots. So one is in the morning, one is kind of in the midday.
Oh, that works.
And so they swap off that way. But still, you wonder if they didn't have to go have a conversation about conflict of interest. Look, I've fallen in love with the guy across the street. Is it okay if we get married? That kind of thing. But evidently, it works. So one of them has like the 4:30 to 9 a.m. slot, and then the other one takes over in the midday.
On a different station. Because it's all
totally
different stations. Oh, that's wild.
Yeah. But I love how they've made love work.
His morning crew.
I know it's kind of a bear. I mean, we put up with it when it comes to opening up your cell phone with your mask on. Because if you have a cell phone that has facial recognition, it's like, oh, now I got to take the mask off so it sees me. Or you have to do a first world problem, and that is type in your code to get into your phone to unlock it. I know it's horrible, right?
The things we have to go through just to make technology work.
First world problems that we have with that. Apple's come up with kind of a solution that you can unlock your phone with your face mask on if you have facial recognition with one of your phones. And it's, but you have to have an iWatch. So if you have an Apple Watch, did I call it an iWatch? If you have an Apple Watch. You did,
but it's okay.
You know what I mean. If you have an Apple Watch, you can set your Apple Watch so that when you open up your phone, your Apple Watch, if you have it on, will unlock your phone for you.
Those people at Apple, they are, I don't want to say sneaky, they're very smart, because now you have to buy an Apple Watch to make things work.
To help your first world problem, Apple's got you covered.
His morning crew.
Now that the Super Bowl is behind us, Tampa won. We have Valentine's Day to think about. What are you going to do? It's Rob and Liz, his morning crew on his radio. Hey, at least we can help you in one area, and it is setting up a great Valentine's for your sweetheart. And all you need is the My HISRadio app.
That's right. We have our Apptastic contest coming back, but it's Valentine's just for this weekend. Valentine's Day is Sunday. So here's what we're throwing at you. We have this sweet Bluetooth speaker that you could win. You could also win like a marriage devotional, which is pretty cool because it has 52 different creative date nights that are, especially for busy people, which we all are. And then it also includes a heart-shaped chicken nugget tray.
Because nothing says anything more than Valentine's than a heart-shaped nugget tray. Did you call it nuggy?
A nuggy tray.
Nuggy.
That's right.
No, it's a nugget. But anyway,
No.
It's heart-shaped. Now, here's all you have to do. If you don't have the My HISRadio app already, then download it for free, Google Play and the App Store. And then at some point, wait a minute. We know what time this afternoon, right? That's going to happen?
We do.
Okay, we'll leak it to you. We're not supposed to say it, but we will say it. Well, I think we're allowed to leak it to you. It'll be
even if we're not, we'll ask for forgiveness later.
Well, you're not supposed to do that.
Oh, okay.
But we'll tell you. It's after 4, right? What time is it?
It is. It's 4:10 because there's 15-minute window that you can get in on the app and get registered, but it's from 4:10 to 4:25.
Here's what will happen. Something will show up on your screen. It'll be like a notification. You open up the app, you fill out the stuff, and then you could possibly win today the HISRadio Bluetooth speaker, the marriage devotional, and what'd you call it?
The chicken nugget tray. It's heart-shaped.
Heart-shaped nug. No, I can't say nuggy.
Nuggy.
I can't say it. I can't.
Let me hear
say
you.
it. No.
Let me hear you.
No.
Nuggy.
No. Apptastic. Download the app, Google Play, and the App Store. After 4 o'clock, you'll have that opportunity to win. And a couple of days every day this week as we get into Valentine's Day.
Mornings with Rob and Liz.
You want to move? You're looking for a new opportunity, a new job, because the city of Natchez, Mississippi, wants you to move there. They're trying to attract people from all over the country, and they're even going to offer up some incentives that are going to equal out to about $6,000 if you move there. So not a bad thing. What they're going to do is, okay, you move. They're going to reimburse you about $2,500 for your moving expenses, and they're going to give you $300 a month for an entire year to help you with your living expenses.
Not enough.
It's not?
No. I mean,
Well,
move me there, get me a nice house, find me a great job. And then you can push in the other stuff if you want.
You're asking an awful lot, Mr.
Well,
Dempsey.
so are they in this Natchez place.
Well, but if you're looking for, let's say you're young, fresh out of college, and you're like, look, I want to leave this place because I want to see the world a little bit. Okay, Natchez, Mississippi may not be the world.
It's like, where do I want to, let me get away. Natchez, Mississippi. That's where I've always wanted to escape to. I don't even know where that place is on the planet outside of Mississippi.
Either. But it's in Mississippi. I've only been through Mississippi, so maybe I visit. But, up to $6,000, it's a shot.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
You would think the same way. There's no way this guy should be alive today because he was underwater for 3 days. Rob and Liz, his morning crew on his radio. He's in a tugboat. Big storm happens. Tugboat just sinks to the bottom. He's only got a small pocket of air, this one guy. And for 3 days, this is how he's breathing.
This makes me so claustrophobic. Like, that is a fear of mine, is to be stuck under the water like that. But this guy sat there for 3 days. Think about all the things that are going through his mind. If I make it out, I bet there's a bargaining at some point, and then there's a realization that, this is the end. But it didn't happen that way.
Well, he literally thought he was going to pass away. He's like, these are my final moments. There's no way. Nobody's going to find me. I'm at the bottom of the ocean somewhere. And I've been here for 3 days. No one's going to find me now.
He was out in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, about 20 miles off the coast of Nigeria. And he just thought, hey, nobody's coming to find me. Nobody even knows I'm out here. But they were looking for him. He got a text from his wife, and I don't know if it came while he was out during that 3 days, but the text said, "Oh God, by your name, save me. The Lord sustains my life."
They found him. They thought it was going to be, a recovery process, but they found him alive in that tugboat. That is just nothing short but God.
Mornings with Rob and Liz.
Even before you get to the office, you know who's not going to be there today because they're up late for the Super Bowl. It happens just about every year. Maybe you even thought, I'm going to sleep in. And then you're like, no, I'm too loyal. I ain't doing that. It's Rob and Liz, his morning crew on his radio. So yet again, another survey. People taking a survey saying we should, or not a survey, but what do you call it? Petition. So here's another petition.
Poll? Yeah.
What? Petition, poll, whatever you want to call it. People cite it. That's a petition. So there's another petition out, and they're saying, okay, if we get enough people, they'll make it a national holiday. They're not. Come on, let's just come to grips with it. They're not going to do it. But here's what some people are saying this year as opposed to other years. They're saying, you know what? We'll give up a holiday. We'll give up President's Day. We'll give up President's Day so we can stay home the day after the Super Bowl. So that's a little different this year.
Yeah, and President's Day is also in February. Super Bowl generally in February. So to make the swap off, I could be okay with that. But I didn't see a second of the Super Bowl, so I'm just kind of like do. Puppy Bowl was over early. It's all good.
That looked like it was recorded this year. I went to pop over there. It was like, it was already done. It was like done over, capiche, all that other stuff. So anyway. So they're never come to grips. They're never going to celebrate a day after Super Bowl holiday where it's a national holiday. You take the day off. It's just not going to happen.
If I don't get my mail today, I would be highly upset.